The mouse. I mean, the computer mouse. Probably one of the most important input devices about using a computer in the modern day today. Ignoring touchscreens starting to take over and all that, if you're using a computer, you're most likely using one of these or a trackpad. So, talking about mice, this is probably the most important mouse in my life. It's actually my first computer mouse. This was attached to the family PC in the basement on our little E-Machines computer. And as far as I know, this is the first mouse I ever touched. And it has been a trooper. It has traveled countries, oceans, back and forth, and I've been using it on and off ever since. And it's been working the entire time until a few years ago. And it ended up getting a fatal flaw that I found too annoying, and this thing's been sitting in a drawer for the past 2 years, and I want to try to get this thing back to life. So, the problem with this mouse right now is with the scroll wheel. For the most part, the scroll wheel actually still works to this day. But if you're looking at our little scroll bar right here, I'm scrolling up on the mouse, but the mouse is doing something other than just scrolling up. And that has become so annoying to the point where I've just stuck this thing in a drawer and haven't done anything about it. But I want to change that. My idea being that I can take the cheapest mouse I can find at Walmart, take the scroll wheel part out of this, and stick it in here. I'm just hoping, because I've opened up a few computer Mises over the years, and as far as I've noticed, the little scroll mechanism inside has been fairly consistently the same. So I'm just hoping that cheap mouse from 2002 is more or less using the same thing from cheap mouse from 2025, because things haven't really changed that much over the years. Of course, you have gaming Mises and all that, but I just want to use this for basic Windows XP use. So I'm not going to be getting a gaming mouse and stuffing it in here. Maybe in the future. I am going to be doing a little bit of an upgrade on top of that and actually taking an old Logitech G303, I think it is, mouse cord and replacing it with this one. First step will be open this thing up and then check inside to see if the scroll mechanism is the same. Otherwise, I just expedited this straight to e-waste, which it probably was anyways. Or I might put it back together and just donate it to my local thrift shop. Here we go. Oh, okay, yep. There we are, we're inside. Got our little wheel. So, we got our scroll mechanism right here. And let's go ahead and open this guy and see if we can make this surgery work. So over the years of using this mouse, it has gone through quite a bit. But one of the things that happened was that it had soft touch plastic on the side. And if you know anything about soft touch plastic, is that it basically just turns into a gooey mess that is the most unpleasant thing. And I actually took this thing apart, took all the black pieces, put them inside of a pot of water and lightly boiled it to the point where all the goo just turned to bleh, and I rubbed it all off to the point where it was just down to the bare plastic. So, taking a look at the scroll mechanisms here, they look fairly identical. I think this one might sit a little bit shorter, so hopefully that isn't too big of an issue. So here's a little scroll mechanism that's been acting up. As I was hoping, this part of the mouse really hasn't changed too much. We got our 3 pins and then our support parts.
So it's at this point in the video that I start to do a really poor job at narrating what I'm doing on screen. So I've decided to do a little bit of voiceover to kind of make the video work. Still figuring out how to make these YouTube videos. Essentially, at this point, I am unsoldering the scroll mechanism from the Walmart mouse.
All right.
Now my favorite mouse.
All right, that's conducting a decent amount of heat. All right, I think we're out. Yay!
and holding them up to each other, just like I noticed, the Walmart mouse's scroll mechanism is a little bit taller than the IBM mouse. Luckily though, it looks like they're essentially the same part. It's just that the Walmart one has a little bit more metal on the bottom. So I'm thinking that I can just take some snips, hack away at the metal, force it to sit at the same height as it was on the IBM mouse, and hopefully it should all work.
Hey, alright. Got some metal fabrication going on here. Good thing this is all going to be inside the mouse where no one can see it. Let's get that bent back straight. That's looking okay. Let's compare it to here, even though I was just eyeballing it. Yeah. I think this is going to work. Get that side all chopped up. Oh man, I'm really hacking away at this piece. Okay. We're gonna really need to bend that back into shape. Probably gonna need to finesse this guy a little bit more, but let's see how it lines up. All right, that's actually sitting in there pretty okay. It's like it almost belongs in there. So let's grab our original scroll wheel. Wow, this is feeling at least mildly promising. It looks like it's sitting a little bit high still, because we got the whole wheel kind of tilted that way. And it looks like it's about to start rubbing against the PCB on this side. Yeah, I can feel the rubber catching. Just need to trim a bit more off of it. Oh my god. Yeah, it's looking pretty bad, but I think that this should be it. Plop it back in. Okay, 5 separate pins all going in after I've massacred them. That looks like it's sitting a bit lower. Yeah. That's looking a bit straighter. I'm pretty happy with this. Let's go ahead and solder it in. That is not very pretty, but I'm thinking that it's good. Let's get this plugged in. We got our up and our down and no skips. Wow. I am so surprised that this worked as easy as it did. Just took a little bit of hacking, but I'm not seeing any jittering. Oh my gosh. All right, all right. So let's keep pressing our luck and get this cord changed right here.
So the donor cable I have came from my old Logitech G303 mouse, which was one of my favorite mice. Like, that thing was amazing, yet over time it definitely started to break down. Whenever I right-clicked with that mouse, it would do like a double right-click, and that was causing all sorts of problems when I was playing games. So I got fed up with it, and I didn't really bother repairing it. So before I threw it out, I decided to just cut the cable off of it and save it, and I have held on to that cable for, I don't know, I think like 5 years now. So I'm glad I'm getting some good use out of it for all the stuff that I hoard in the closet, thinking I'll use into the future. Now I finally have an excuse for actually using it. So after having a great deal amount of difficulty actually getting the cable soldered, I tape the mouse down to the table, which I should have done from the beginning, and it goes by super smoothly from there.
That's all looking good. Let's get the DMM out. Just make sure that we're not arcing anything. Nope, nothing's touching. Nothing's touching. Nothing's touching. Now let's release this thing. I'm definitely going to be using this trick again in the future. Hope for the best. We're not getting any movement. I think that's just because the sensor isn't focused properly. Yeah, let's get this thing set back in here. Oh yeah. Whoo-wee! Let's get our boy put back together. Oh god, I really wasn't keeping track of a lot of this stuff. I think I like kind of shove screws and bump screws every which direction. Alright, no, okay. Here they are. Okay, good. So first is the side panel. Next, let's get a knot tied into this cable. Oh no, my screws. Maybe I should have spaced that a little bit better before tightening the crap out of it. But, okay. Looks like it's got a bit of room for a home in there. Oh no, my screws. Okay. That still clicks. Okay, the fabric looks like it's kind of catching on the hard edges of the plastic, so even though the knot isn't anywhere close to there, I don't think I'm gonna have an issue. And that's, yeah, we'll see if that becomes an issue, but let's get it put back together. Okay, this braided cable's really fighting me. Oh, okay, right as I say that. Hey, that feels secure. And looking at that, it's a little, it still scrolls, it's not rubbing. All right, I think that does it. Plug it back in. Oh my gosh, it scrolls, it moves, the buttons are working. Heck yeah. There we are. Been sitting in a bin for the past 2 years, broken. Went to Walmart, got myself the cheapest mouse I could find, and it happened to be next to the perfect solution to get my favorite little guy working again. I'm feeling pretty happy.
Well, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am so happy that I have this mouse working again and it's connected to my eMachine's computer right where it belongs. This whole video was actually inspired by Tsukima's video about the RealForce mouse. It's a really interesting mouse that uses topre switches, which are usually used on niche keyboards, instead of clicky switches on a mouse. It's a really fun watch, and it reminded me of my mouse that was stuck in a drawer, and I decided to fix it. So don't you dare subscribe to me. Head over to his channel, subscribe to him, maybe buy a few of his stickers, but definitely check out his video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again.